Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ESLTV and the continuation of the ESLTV Invitationals Week 2. I'm James Harding. Joining me, of course, once again is our resident expert, Matt DeZalma Ryder.
Resident expert?
Well, I was trying to be nice, actually, because you've had a hard day today, a lot to do. You've been looking after your two sisters in Cologne, and today you can be the expert, Matthew.
Okay. No, today you should be the expert, actually. Yeah, I'm good. So ich bin nicht so fleißig, though. I probably pronounced that wrong. I just learned a new German word today, fleißig, and apparently it's a mixture of between organised, good at timekeeping, and hard-working.
You said you are that or are not?
Are not. I'm going to be fleißig next week, though.
Well, I mean, you're wearing braces, so, I mean, you're already fantastically well dressed for the show. All right, so on this week's show, we do the continuation of Week 2, and we have 4 new teams to compete, each trying to get first place out of the group to continue on into Week 5 as I lose my my connection to God. So we are going to go in-game then, top left of your screens. I haven't defined them, sorry, just yet. I will define them for the next game. It is going to be against All Authority, Hiss on Rogue, Analit on Priest, Phoenix on Mage, so RMP, versus the team of Sickology up in the top right corner. That's going to be Azox on Druid. So bad his name is, I believe that's Tiff, is actually on the DK, and also Machine on Warlock. They weren't playing with Leia and Caddis, they had to replace them. So RMP versus basically a Shadow Cleave. It'll be very, very interesting to see how this is going to work out. Honest to God, with all those dots that Rogue can drop, the switches are very possible. So I really think that Azox has a good chance to take down one of the top RMPs, but we'll have to see.
Well, they're certainly confident. I mean, I've just read one of Azox's comments on SK Gaming, and he has said, I'm gonna destroy everyone in this tournament. It's not a big issue. Even though RMP is the most overpowered and easy comp to play in the world, we'll win for free.
Oh, and actually look at this, and Hiss is going to open up very, very strong onto Azox. It looks like they could be trying to blow up the Druid if this is going to be their tactic. In comes a Holy Fire as well. Finally a Fear, followed by a Death Coil onto Hiss. Proctor Shadow Bolt as well. It's going to drop him to half health, and there is some nice penance there from Analit on top of the tomb. We'll put him back up. Azox still dipping rather low. Let's switch over to Azox, see how he handles the pressure. We did have a blind, it looked like a blind. Yeah, it's a blind
he's
onto
sitting in
Azox.
a full duration blind, actually. That's going to hurt. And now he's sitting into cheap shot, so it looks like they're going to try and CC this train. His kidney does come in. He's taking quite a lot, but it won't be enough to get him down. Maybe it will.
Oh, and he is going to be feared after the kidney. That was a great fear, and Azox will get blown up from this RMP. And, well, I mean, he was playing with a Death Knight and a Warlock, but Death Coil was had to be used onto Hiss. Definitely a viable tactic versus what they're playing, which is Shadow Cleave. And let's just have a look at the stats to see how this went down. So you can see there that Analit put out 7k damage. He did 2 lots of nukes. I don't think the Fear nuke after the Fear was necessarily needed, but certainly would have helped. I think this time round they're going to be prepared. They're going to set up more defensively. I think with Chains of Ice on the Rogue from the Death Knight would be very useful, and also the Fear and dot rotation from Machine would also be fantastic too. So there's a big possibility that Sickology can come back into this, but we are going to go then into the next arena. We're going to wait for these guys to approach up on the lifts, and a very, very dangerous map for a Druid, this one. Not much you can do as far as line of sight goes. This could be another train onto Azox, the Druid. We'll have to see. What do you reckon, Matt?
I think if they can outlast that initial burst, outlast the, as usual with RMP, outlast those initial timers, then they've got a good chance, especially after the recent, you know, buff to Innovate as well on Druids. Apparently it's like almost 20 game mana or something over 30 seconds, which is pretty insane. And maybe Machine should, I don't know really how much he should focus on CC and how much he should focus on just pumping out damage.
All right, at the moment we are then following Machine, and Penhiss is going reasonably low at the moment. Machine does seem to be the initial target. There comes a demonic portal putting behind, and there you go. There's the Chains of Ice on the Rogue that they're going to need to keep him slowed. He's not getting back onto his target. Hiss is taking a lot of damage from behind. They're not going to be able to dispel it. Unstable Affliction is up onto that Rogue. He has used his Cloak of Shadows now, and the Cloak of Shadows has been used primarily to get back onto their target. You can see Machine is trying to fear Phoenix. I did get Spell Alert working, and I will say thank you. And
just got a great fear onto Machine, actually. Forced him to use this trinket, so Machine's vulnerable at the moment. He's running behind the pillar, trying to get onto aAa's, who's sitting behind that pillar as well, which is currently down at the moment. UAs are coming out, lots of damage coming up onto aAa's.
Yeah, and actually, aNawak dipped to about half HP there. He's going to back up. His rogue is going ridiculously low. Hiss right now has a lot of problems. You can see the cooldowns that he has got up. He isn't going to be able to use Cloak of Shadows for another 50 seconds. So only just use, and well, he's going to die from dots. And that is pretty much a game over scenario. And they kind of predicted more or less what the dangers of RMP, wanted to play it out and just put so much pressure onto that rogue as far as damage goes. So it really is into the RMP's hand to see if what they can do. If the RMP's attacks or pressure is unsuccessful, chances are they're eventually going to lose. So they really, aAa need to play fantastically well. So gates are going to open then. It is going to be round 3. And Matt, what are we going to be looking for as a start for an RMP here? What advantages are they going to want to take?
Well, I think it's... I mean, obviously the sap's often a big factor, but I think what they need to do is get those chain CCs onto aAa's, especially the moments where he hasn't got any hots up. You know, take advantage of targets that are completely empty hots-wise.
And actually, look at this. Tiff has actually gone already aggressive, getting both Phoenix and aNawak sharing some dots around on those two targets. You can see then if we switch over to Hiss, he's still looking to open up. So it does look like they're going to try and open up onto the Druid. He's got a bit of distance, actually, and will be able to control that Druid until his mage gets into place. And Hiss is playing this one really nicely. Phoenix is going ridiculously low. aAa's now starting to get some life blooms up. They're going to blind aAa's, and Hiss is going to vanish.
They already forced him to use Trinket, actually, and yeah, Hiss sitting in Vanish at the moment, just waiting for aAa's to come out of that blind. Fear does come in on aAa's, and remember, he's totally vulnerable now. No hots on him whatsoever. Manages to get one life bloom. He's in cheap shot at the moment, and this could be a kill right here. Kidney shot comes in. He doesn't have any hots whatsoever. Looks like he's going to drop. No, manages to get up, and he does go down.
Is going to go down. Yeah, and sorry, I was watching the debuffs over here, and what was more important to the situation was whether they could keep Phoenix, the mage, up or not, and they did manage to keep Phoenix up in that situation, and Hiss did a brilliant job of taking down aAa's, and as Matthew said, had him in a kidney. All right, so we are going to go into then the 4th round. It is going to be Ring of Valor once again. This is the map that actually Sickology won, who are in the top left, versus Against All Authority in the top right. So we'll see if they can pull this back to a 2-2 game. One of these teams will have to go down to the lower bracket. We'll see who it is. And in actual fact, I'm going to try and I will bring up Spell Alert. We will have up here Spell Alerter, which was actually, I'll say it afterwards, who was responsible for helping me or suggesting how we make that happen. You will have a little chat box down here, but everything else will be the same. So we'll see if they can get a kill onto the Druid. If Sickology are going to be able to kind of kite this one out and keep their Druid alive, certainly I think I should watch maybe Machine, the Warlock, and see how he handles the situation. I really should face the right way when the stuff happens. It's like when you... All right, so Hiss off to the left then. Looks like he has a choice of who he's going to open up to. He is going to sap aAa's. Actually, is going to gouge.
There comes the gouge again, yeah. It looks like he might try and repeat the tactic he used last time. Kidney does come in, but no damage coming out onto aAa's. Has aNawak come close for a fear? He has. So aAa's sitting in a fear, but he's not going to trinket it this time because he's not under enough significant pressure. Now a counter spell comes in on aAa's, so still going for this chain CC.
Yeah, and actually aAa's dropping ridiculously low. Machine was put into a sheet. Did get a Devour off there a little bit later. In comes the anti-magic shield. Sorry, that's going to help aAa's a little bit because there was a lot of damage was coming in from Phoenix. A lot of pressure now onto the Priest, though. If we switch over to aNawak, has to use his pain suppression. Is going to get away. 8k health and does seem to get away from his target. There came in a poly as well. That poly was going to hit the DK and hasn't been taken off. So that's going to give aNawak a little bit of time. The pet is up as well, just up here, doing a lot of damage. Yeah. And really, this looks like it is going to be in favor of the team, surely of Sickology. You can see that Hiss now dropping really low. Yeah. He's still got 50 seconds left until he can use Cloak of Shadows again, trying to get away, and he isn't going to be able to get away. And Sickology are going to repeat their success on this map, Ring of Valor, for a second time. And I honestly believe that when each of the Sickology players are in a vicinity of being able to help each other, they can help keep aAa's alive.
And I think aAa were a little, and Mouse Sports as well, a little bit nervous going into this one in case Inflame would be playing. Obviously, that would be against our rules, as you know, Inflame was planning to play with, who was it?
Ocelot and also K from Wicked. So then Hiss is going to open up once again onto the Druid. Let's switch over to him, and his POV, already a chains of ice onto the back of him, is going to vanish it off. Going to get pulled out again, and this is going to be bad for Against All Authority. Evasion is going to be used, still trying to chase that Druid. And now look, Gargoyle is already popped, so Hiss is going to take a lot of damage. He still does have Cloak of Shadows available. Is going to switch his target though for the Warlock. Not going to be able to get back on him yet, and I mean, if they take down, here we go, there's the Cloak of Shadows just used. Gonna switch targets over to the DK. It'll be interesting to see if they can take him down. aAa's at the moment in a nice position. Doesn't look like he's gonna get feared. Switching over to Analit, having to use a Divine Hymn to keep up his team. Wasn't able to get a fear in. Fear is available for Analit, so he really needs to get involved somehow and maybe help these guys lock down and kill that fear. Is going to be very, very crucial. Maybe he's going to use it offensively, but actually he does get feared himself. That's going to be removed with Will of the Forsaken. Still not a... There is actually going to be a fear onto aAa's, and he's going to have to penance, though, his target. And here we go. This is going to be pressure onto aAa's. There comes an improved counterspell. aAa's drops down to 3, 2, 1, and there comes the kidney. Surely he's going to die in the kidney, and he does die in the kidney. But look at this. Hiss is going to go down, and we do have a double kill. So now we're left on a 2-on-2 situation. We've got DPS versus Mage and Priest. And this will be finishing. We'll switch over then. It does look like they're going to put a lot of pressure onto Analit. And I mean, you know, Hiss was always going to be the target of death. And I honestly think that was their only window of opportunity for Against All Authority to get a kill. And they picked it perfectly. And they got what they came in to do, which was kill aAa's. Now they have to go against a 2v2. You can see then Analit is put into Change of Ice, penancing himself, needs to get some distance down to 10k HP. There comes another Change of Ice followed by a Death Grip. He does need help. Phoenix at the moment looking to poly. Analit up reasonably high, and I mean, we're going to switch over to Tiff at the moment, because Tiff right now, look at him, he's like where the hell did I put my bandages? And he's thinking, oh no, I didn't make them previously.
Analit actually drinking now on so bad is going to go down here. He has used his health stone earlier on.
Nice fear though from Machine, but what an amazing play. I mean, there was one chance Against All Authority had from the bad start to actually get that kill onto aAa's, and it happened.